Hey guys, it's Sarah. Yes, I am wearing a Shakespeare t-shirt that says Pros Before Hoes. So I'm here today with my February wrap-up. I read a grand total of 3 books this month. I know that's pretty sad. I don't want to say I was getting in a reading slump, because I was definitely reading the whole month, but I kept doing this thing where I kept starting a book and reading like a chapter and then starting a different book. I don't know, I just couldn't really sit down and read a book. Also, February is usually the worst month for me. I don't know, I feel like it's cold and depressing. It just makes you want to curl up and watch Netflix. I don't know, so I wasn't feeling very productive most of the month. That's not true. I got a lot done. And I was really busy. Maybe that's why I didn't get much reading done. I also am a freelance editor, so I edited 2 books. So I think that should count. Anyway, the 3 books that I've read. The first one is This Song Will Save Your Life by Leila Sales. Leila? I don't know. I absolutely love this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm not going to say that much about it because I did a full review on it, and I will link to that down below. But if you like music, and if you were kind of an awkward outcast type person in high school, or you still are, you should definitely read this book because it's pretty great. The next book that I read that I was kind of proud of was Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is kind of a long book. I never read it in school, which is odd because I was an English major. So you would think that at some point I would have read this book, but I didn't. So I finally got to reading it, and I really, really enjoyed it. To me, it felt like more of a feminist version of Jane Austen. I mean, not that Jane Austen's books don't have feminist undertones. They do sometimes. But this one was a lot more heavy-handed with the feminism, I think. Jane Eyre is just a very strong female character. I really liked Mr. Rochester. Yes, he was kind of an asshole, especially at the beginning. But I thought he was a really good character. I thought it was really well fleshed out. I don't know, I had a really good experience reading this book. I can't really talk about the feminism aspect, I don't think, without getting spoilers. And, I mean, should you worry about getting spoilers to a book this old? I don't know. But, just in case some of you haven't read this book and you want to, I won't go into that. But I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. If you're looking for a new kind of classic to read, especially for feminists who, are looking for a less problematic classic to read, because, let's face it, 90% of classics before 1900, maybe even 1950, are sexist in some way. Some books published today are sexist, so, But this book, I thought, was really great, especially for a feminist novel. And I feel like it was probably very radical for that time period as well. The last book that I read in February was Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. I enjoyed this book. This is the 3rd book in the Anna and the French Kiss trilogy. The way this trilogy works, all 3 books kind of function as standalone novels, but they kind of have some of the same characters intertwined, and they all take place in the same universe. So if you do read them all, it's kind of fun to see characters from the first 2 books in this book, or, see how they all interact. I did enjoy reading this book. I read it really fast. Stephanie Perkins is a really great writer, and you just kind of fly through her books. That's one of the reasons I picked up this book, is because I was in sort of a reading slump where I couldn't finish anything, and I knew that once I picked up this book, I would be able to finish it in a day, which is what I did. So that was good. I will say that I liked Anna and the French Kiss and Lila and the Boy Next Door a little bit better than this one. Though they are all young adult romance books, young adult contemporary romance, I would say. But the first 2, I think were a little bit more relatable from an adult standpoint. This book felt like I was definitely conscious that I was reading about teenagers and that I'm not a teenager. Whereas in most young adult books, I feel like, yes, it is clear that you're reading about teenagers, but you can still kind of put yourself in that character's shoes and remember what it was like to be a teenager. This book made me remember what it was like to be a teenager, but not in a good way. It was I felt like the romance was very over dramatic and kind of over the top, which is definitely authentic to the teenage experience, because I can remember, feeling that way when I was a teenager and falling in love for the first time, and you think everyone is wrong and no one understands, and it's all very dramatic. So she really did a good job of portraying the way that feels, but reading it from an adult perspective, it was kind of a little too much at times. Either way, I did enjoy the experience of reading this, and Stephanie Perkins is a great writer. So I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I'm not going to do a TBR for March because I haven't been really sticking to my TBRs lately, so I don't really think there's much of a point. I don't know that I'm going to keep doing monthly TBRs. I might if I'm feeling like inspired to read certain books one month. I don't know. But let's just say in March I am hoping to read more than 3 books. That is my goal. Alright, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books and what you thought about them down below. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.